going on, guys? What's going on, guys?
What's going on, guys?
I'm Ryan here from Student Aesthetics. I started making videos here in my parents' attic when I was 19 years old, in university, not sure what I wanted to do with my life, but I picked up the camera, and it's 11 years later now. I bought a house in Spain this year, and I'm honestly living the life that my younger self was dreaming about. And today I'm gonna take you through this entire journey, but not just the highlight reel. I'm actually gonna take you through all the struggles as well, and the lessons that I've learned from it. So if you're new to this channel, this is gonna be an inspiring video. And if you're an OG, it's gonna be a very nostalgic video. And that's not all, there's also something kind of serious I wanna talk about today, and that is the future of this channel. This is something I've been struggling with a lot, and I honestly don't really know what to do at this stage. So gonna get to that later, but first, roll the intro. So first, let's get some stats. 808 videos and 54,074,210 views in total. That is just mind-blowing. And so for context, I started my YouTube channel when I was 19 years old. I didn't have some sort of genius plan. I simply wanted to share my knowledge with the world about fitness and my journey, right? And it was my dream to one day be able to do this for a living. So let's get into the first video. 100 pull-up challenge, 19 years old. If you come from this time, you're a real OG. Let me know in the comments.
What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna try a pull-up challenge.
100 pull-ups. Let's do this shit. I still remember the text. This is the only text in this entire video, I think. That old school music, man. This is that Z's music. See, those first words I remember because I was nervous even like saying those first sentences. Because I was out in public. There was literally no one around me. There he goes, shirt off. Pretty good bag, to be honest. Fucking win, lol. That these type of videos are even possible to upload and people would watch them. It's like literally just me and like just having some music doing pull-ups. Man, this is incredible. Now, this wasn't actually my very first video. There's also some on private, and I'm sure I've deleted some as well, which is a shame. But you gotta realize, guys, I was 19 at the time. No one in my city, Nijmegen, the Netherlands, no one in the whole country for that matter was making these kind of videos and like vlogging themselves and fitness vlogs. I was really one of the first to do it in the entire country, which is crazy. But here's one old one.
What's up, guys? I wanted to talk about the young bodybuilders nowadays, and what they think they should do in order to look like Z's or Jeff Side, or I don't know.
The intros are so slow. Like back in the day, guys, there was no such thing as having a short attention span. All right, it was another level. Those were better days, man. Here we have dirty bulking results, Chris Jones style. And Chris Jones is actually the guy that got me into starting a YouTube channel because he was one of the first guys that I was, you know, like watching every single day.
Keep that in mind when I show you these pictures.
Started out at 70 kilograms.
Kilograms. I sound like a black guy from Texas in my first videos. It's not a joke. And my accent still keeps changing over the years.
After a couple of months, I was real thick looking, beefy looking. See, I put on some size. Definitely put on some size. My shoulders again. My back was wider.
What the hell is that? I think my phone is going off. And this really shows that you don't have to be perfect before you start. And there is no better example than this. This is living proof. Like, English is my second language. I didn't have a camera. It was filmed on my phone. There's a phone going off in the background. I wasn't like, hey, I'm not going to post this video because there's a phone going off. I didn't even care about refilming it. It's just like, you know, this is what you're getting. And it's just literally just like a video with pictures and me doing a voiceover. And back then that was enough. Obviously today you have to do more. But the principle is the same. The principle of you got to start before you are ready. And here's something not many people know. So I was uploading so much, right? Look at this, December 1st, December 3rd, December 6th. So I was uploading like 3 days a week, every single week. And I got between like 1,000 and 2,000 views on most of them. And then after 8 months of doing this, the unthinkable happened. I got some bad news. Actually, pretty much all of my videos are deleted. I don't actually know what to say, so I had 44 videos up and 40 got deleted, so there were only 4 videos left. And I remember just getting 4 or 5 comments under this video, and that just really kept me going. That made me realize that, you know what, there are people watching and I can still turn this into something. I've already put this time in. I'm gonna continue. And I feel like that was the turning point in which I went in with like all my energy. And this is also when I started seriously considering becoming an entrepreneur. I was starting to read books about business, and so I started training clients for free at first. I started building my website at the same time.
I want to show you my new blog. It is on my website.
And I got my first clients within a couple of months, and those were actually all from America. So shout out to my Americans, because I guess Dutch people thought I was pretty freaking crazy. Even the way that I looked, you know, like the tank top, the bright colors, the cap. I just kind of looked like an American. And so this time I still had a side job. I was also in university while building this coaching website. I uploaded over 100 videos at this point, and this one got 772,414 views. And this changed everything. But it wasn't one video, it was those 100 videos before that changed it all.
And today's video is going to be kind of an announcement because I do have a new supplement sponsor.
And I became a My Protein ambassador, which was a big goal of mine. This didn't mean that I was getting paid. I was literally just getting free supplements back then. And this was all 2015, and then 2016 started. And in that year, I did 160 videos every other day. So this is when the ball started rolling. And within those 3 months, everything changed, going from 5,000 subscribers to 20,000, which also led to me getting clients for my coaching business. And then I decided to make a tough decision.
I just did it. Your boy dropped out of university. I had to make a decision whether I wanted to keep doing this. My dream, my life goal, you know. Something I stand for, something I believe in, something I want to wake up for every single day to make it happen. Or stay in school, you know. Chase that graduation. Do what my parents want me to do. Do what all the people around me are doing. Do what's accepted as the norm. When I'm old, I'm never gonna forgive myself if I didn't take the shot, if I didn't take the opportunity to create something here, to at least try something, all right? Maybe it's not gonna work out, but at least I fucking tried.
Man, I'm gonna tear up. Yeah, it's just so real, man. It's so real. And that's what I thought, you know, if it wasn't gonna work out, at least I tried. I tried to do something big with my life. And I know not everybody needs to be an entrepreneur, needs to do all this crazy stuff that I've done. And that's really not my message. I'm just saying, like, if you have a dream, like a deep desire, something you really want, and you never went after it, I feel like if you're old, you're gonna regret not trying it, right? And so I'm just thankful this guy decided to do something about it.
From here, anything can happen. We don't know what's gonna happen. From here on, all I know is I'm gonna chase my dreams. You're gonna join me in the process. You know, I wanna be living proof that it's possible to do anything you fucking want. Anything. There are no limits to life. We're gonna fucking make it. Trust me on that.
Man, I think we did. I think we did pretty well. I guess my younger self was sort of delusional in a way, which really helps. I think most entrepreneurs are sort of delusional in a sense where you think anything is possible. As you get older, you realize not literally everything is possible, but man, that mindset is good to have. It shows the power of positive thinking. And here many people thought I was crazy for dropping out. They also had no idea how much money I was making, obviously, because I was doing pretty well. I think like 10K a month, even though, you know, I was like 21 years old with my coaching business. And that wasn't even with like sponsorships and everything like that. So I just kind of saw the potential. Now, after dropping out, I had a lot of time, right? So much more time to make videos. And so I started, you know, investing in like camera equipment, and I started doing more collaborations. First guy I collabed with was Anthony Kruijver from the Netherlands. And then I think Joe Delaney was like my next collab, and then Rob Lipson. And then we have a big milestone here, which is the first meetup I ever did at the Fox Gym in Rotterdam. I actually have no idea what to expect, and I'm actually pretty nervous, guys, to be honest. And I really had no idea how many people were gonna show up. It could have been 10, it could have been 30, and then 150 people showed up. I don't even have an autograph. And I had my whole friend group who came to support me. They all put on the shirts. Such a good vibe.
Yeah, man, I don't know, man. It was just crazy.
Making a living doing what I love is one thing, but making a living, helping people, making other people's lives better, it's a fucking privilege. I'm living the fucking dream, people. I'm living the fucking dream. And yeah, honestly, still, this is one of the best days of my life. It still is to this day. And so after this, I started working with a videographer, Nabil, who I also shot this video with. And we did a world tour. We called it Australia, New Zealand, Dubai. We shot some of the most cinematic, epic fitness vlogs. I mean, back then, nobody was doing this stuff, all right, as cinematic as we were. And I can honestly say that. Later on, a lot of people started, you know, copying this style. But we were the first. And if you've seen those videos, they're absolutely crazy. Now, during this time, it was a big goal of mine to be sponsored by Alpha Lead. I love the clothing line. I was watching Christian Guzman from a young age. And so I wanted to be part of that crew. So I kept sending emails to them, reaching out on social media, but no one was responding to me. And then during this world tour trip, I hit 100,000 subscribers.
Today is the day that we hit 100,000 subscribers.
And that's when, one of those days later, I get a text from Christian Guzman. And then I knew that was going to happen too. So we planned a FaceTime call, I think the same day. And then I offered to fly over to Houston, Texas, kind of meet him in real life, because I was looking for like a longer term sponsorship, paid for everything myself. That was just kind of how I did things, and that was turned out to be a really good decision, because I've not only been in business with them for a long time, but I'm also friends with Christian. And on that note, when the Brexit happened a couple of years ago, that was actually really bad news for Alpha Lead, because when you guys would order their clothes from the Netherlands or any country in Europe, you would have a delivery guy at your door, and then you have to pay import tax, which really sucked. But that problem is now finally gone, because Alpha Lead has launched their EU store. So faster shipping, no more import tax, and you can just order any amount of clothes you want, you know, without getting those extra fees. These are literally the clothes you see me wearing every single workout video for the past like 7 years. And so that's just a living testimony to how good they are. And the quality just keeps improving. So I would absolutely recommend. I'll put a link to them in the description box of this video. Now, at this time, I was still living at home with my parents, so I moved out, got my own place, which was a big milestone, and then started like traveling the world more, going to these different fitness expos with Alpha Lead and my protein, and doing like all these photo shoots, which was really cool. Also, you know, to connect with other like-minded people in the industry. And, you know, I did some cool fun trips with, you know, Joe and Rob, went to Ibiza and things like that. And so I've done many of these different trips, and that was really cool, because it got me into this new community. Because for a couple of years, I was pretty lonely, to be honest, when I was building all this stuff, where I was putting out 3 videos a week and I was just at home. I stopped hanging out with my friends, because, you know, we used to hang out every single day, and we used to like, you know, smoke weed and chill and like watch movies, and I stopped skipping those sessions. And in a sense, that made me sort of lonely, because it was also tough for me to like give up those chill sessions, and I started working at that time. I didn't have any entrepreneurs around me, so it was really cool to like connect with all these other YouTubers and people in the industry. Now, it actually kind of hurts me watching back some of this footage, because this stage of my life, I was actually suffering a lot. So there was something in my life which I have never talked about, and I don't want to say that I will never talk about it, because I believe that I will. I just want to do it at the right time, when it feels right to me. And so far, I'm not ready to talk about it yet. But back then, I kept all those issues that I had inside myself, and I didn't share with anyone. And this is, I think, an important lesson when you see YouTubers, when you see people on social media doing well from the outside in terms of numbers and in terms of their accomplishments. That doesn't mean they are feeling good on the inside. And trust me, because I know. And those are two completely separate things. And so you don't want to idolize someone's life when you don't actually know what it's really like. And I think over the years we've seen this, and it goes from just people getting depressed or quitting YouTube to even people taking their own lives. You know, those things have happened, and those things will always happen. But one thing we can do is talk about it more, and talk about it to the people close to you, which is something I didn't do back then, and I wish I did, to be honest. But instead, I kept grinding.
Today, we are launching the English version of My Shredded Lifestyle. All the books arrived.
So at this time, I have like 3 different businesses. I did a men's physique competition. That was just something I wanted to do once in my life. And I actually got 2nd place. So that was really not bad. But the struggle I went through to get there was insane. Then a couple weeks later, I had a Men's Health cover, which I also did, and I'm really proud I'm on that cover. 10 years after I, you know, visualized it when I was 15, I wanted to be on there, and I was when I was 25. Big moment there. And this same year, I also met my current girlfriend in the beginning of COVID, so that was really special, and we're still here 5.5 years later. And this is really when I started focusing more on growing the business, building our team even further, so hiring more people. And at this time, I really started to adopt kind of a toxic mindset of always hustling and like you always have to grind and it's never enough. How much more do you want? You know, I was already making pretty good money when I was 21 years old, and now it's just constantly about more, and then it's about $1 million and then more than $1 million. And is your life really gonna change? I think I started to live a life of someone else, a life of someone that wanted all those things, the shiny objects, but that's really not what drives me deep inside. This is a point when it just started building and building. It doesn't matter what it is, how beautiful everything around you is, or how much you have accomplished or whatever, or how much money you have in a bank account. Nothing seems to matter. Nothing seems to make you happy, man. It doesn't hit you anymore. And that is the worst feeling in the fucking world, you know? Because you literally wonder, like, what am I doing on this planet? You know, and dude, I never want to feel like that again. And so it just kept building for many years. And this is when I hit a point of burnout at some point. Hey guys, what's going on? Ryan here. Feels weird putting on this camera right now. Me as a person, I'm suffering, man. You know, I'm suffering, and I've been suffering for quite some time. I hope that we can continue this journey together one day. I went to therapy, and this really taught me what matters, and I learned way more about myself and my values and, you know, the things that drive me on a daily basis. And so I came back with less pressure and more purpose. Then I did a little documentary series with my dad, and this means a lot to me to be able to help him. And so he lost 7 kilos. Really an awesome project that I'm gonna remember forever. And then I decided to do something, and I'm still not sure why I made this decision. But so after the burnout, I did quit multiple businesses, but I kept my one biggest business, which has been my online coaching business, which was called My Shredded Lifestyle back then. It's now called Daily Wins. And decided to open up a physical office to grow that business even bigger. Even though during the burnout, I realized that, like, you know, having more and more and more is not better. But now my idea was, well, I quit all these other businesses, so that is the problem. But then I thought growing this one business bigger is the answer. It wasn't, but that's a story for a different video. And I decided to stop chasing all this external success. I mean, those things are still fun, and I still have goals. Back in those years of like starting, didn't see anything other than the success that I was chasing, and nothing else mattered. And I guess for a period in my life, that was great to build the things that I built. But now it's important to also stand still and think about, like, what do I actually want from life, right? Because life goes by really fast. I'm 30 years old now. I started this YouTube channel 11 years ago. It's just crazy, man. There's just so much that happened in these 11 years. And these are like, this is some emotional stuff because of joy, because I made these decisions, because I could have kept grinding and kept just like repeating the same stuff that I was doing in the Netherlands. But instead, ask myself the question, like, what does my dream life actually look like? And as I said before, money is important, sure, but it's just never been the main driver for me. So if I go that route of building this really big business with all these employees, even thinking about it now, it just gives me a massive headache. So I'm going to make a separate video talking about that a little more, that journey. But what it led to was me and my girlfriend buying a house in Marbella, Spain. And this has been just the best decision ever. And that's why it makes me emotional, because these 11 years have kind of led to this point. And so for me, buying this house at 29 was something my younger self could only dream of. And I think the biggest accomplishment of it all, and not in terms of actually buying the house, but symbolic. It really stands for choosing myself and purposefully creating the life of my dreams, but not being put into that box, the life that someone else aspires or what someone expects me to do, and actually choosing me. So that's where we are now. And finally, I need your help with something. So as I said in the beginning of the video, I've been struggling quite a lot with YouTube lately. Now, the last 1 to 2 years, as I said, I've been really busy with buying a house, but that's not really an excuse to like stop uploading as much. And I also do this Dutch YouTube channel. Some videos, they get the same views, and so clearly something is wrong, and I want to improve the channel. So please let me know, not just what kind of videos you like to see, I would love hearing that, but also give me some constructive criticism, like what's not good about the current videos, right? So I actually know what I can improve. But so I'm just kind of like thinking like, what is the best thing for the channel? Like put out less videos, but put more effort into them, and then more like conceptual videos? Or do you really like seeing the vlog still? Is that what people watch? Like, what other channels do you watch? I'm just really curious about anything you can share with me to help me improve. Because we've been here for so long, and I want to keep being here, but some part of me tells me to quit sometimes. Or like if it keeps going this way, like I will kind of have to, because I'm no longer dependent on this YouTube channel like I used to in the past, which is a good and a bad thing, right? But I want to do this. Like, I love doing this. And I might feel a little bad sometimes about the views and stuff. But as I said, I also know that that just happens and it's a part of it. And I want to be a role model and show you guys also that during the bad times, you keep going, right? You keep going until it gets better. And that's what I've always done, you know? And it brings me to this quote: keep showing up even when nobody is clapping. If you're into something right now and it's difficult, you gotta keep going if it's something that you believe in, and one day you'll reap the benefits. I hope my story showed you that. So thank you so much for everything you've done for me and this channel. Without you, it would not have been possible, man. From the bottom of my heart, I'm gonna tear up again. So I'll catch you in the next video, man. Much love.